Yes, welcome, respected Shrota Sadhaka friends. Congratulations for being regular submissions to continue by one's own sankalpa and efforts and invoking the divine grace. Anything in the world, we do it by our efforts, whatsoever in our hands, whatever is not in our hands, for that we pray to Paramatma. In these two ways, we fulfill what we have to do. Then, by God's grace, whatever the result we deserve, we are given. Take it as prasada and move ahead. Friends, remember the 13 Vyaktitvas to be strengthened. Lokasevaka, Dharmastapaka, Viragi, Bhakta, Shishya, Mumukshu, Jignasu, Shrota, Sadhaka, Parishrami, Prerita, Prashanta, Gambhira, and also Sanskrita Bhasha, Gnata, Vyakarana, Sahita. Who are the six sources to bless us? The Parabrahma Tattva, the Ishvara Tattva, the Jaganmata Tattva, the Devata Ganas, the Guru Ganas, and the Shruti Ganas. Provided we have developed the Shraddha in them, we have discovered the need of them, we found all the techniques to court them, and we have applied them seriously, sincerely, their blessings will come to empower us, to protect us, to guide us, to strengthen us, to see that we walk on the path with less or no obstacles and reach the goal very soon. We are into the study of Yogavaashishtha Maharamayana, then Dhanyashtakam, beautiful stotra. Then we have our Sankshipta Skanda Purana, Kartika Masa Mahima, and in Taittiriya Upanishad, yesterday we have concluded it. We have to do the Aitareya Upanishad from today. In the first of our Yogavaashishtha Maharamayana Adhyanam, 18th Sarga was over, 19th we are doing. In the 19th, Pramana Nirupanam is said. So, in that Pramana Nirupana, what is being discussed is it's only our lack of thinking that we are in the delusion of a reality given to the projected world. If we properly, deeply contemplate and see, both the Drishya Jagat, Drashta, are none but Druk Swarupa Chaitanya Atma only. With this knowledge, when we see Pratyaksha Rupena, whatever we are seeing as the Jagat, whatever we are feeling ourselves as the Drashta of this Jagat, both are the Pratyaksha Atma Swarupa Chaitanya only. So, in this way, Pratyaksha Rupena, what we are every moment experiencing is Paramatma Tattva only. This knowledge is revealed to us through the study of this Yogavaashishtha Ramayana and such Vedanta Shastras Upanishads. So, therefore, once that is realized, always we are with the self, in the self only, experiencing self only. Like when I speak, speaker. So for you, I am a speaker, but for me, the speaker is me, my own self. For me, the walker is me, my own self. For me, the listener is me, my own Atma. So, speaking, listening, walking, going on through Padi, but the Anubhuti is of Atma only. So, I am speaking through the organ of speech. I am only. Same way, a Jnani, Pratyaksha Rupena, primarily he gets the Anubhuti of the Atman. Then Vyavahara Rupena, then Atman alone is Kalpita as Drashta and Drashya. And at the Drashya and Drashya level, whatever the rules, regulations are there, that he follows, which is a part of the Kalpita game. And like in this world, politics is a game, cricket is a game, Business is a game. Everything is a play. But it has its own norms, rules, regulations. We are following them, isn't it? That's it. In same way, the projected world has its own norms of rules, regulations. He follows them scrupulously, knowing that all of that is unreal and knowing always what is real. That real is Pratyaksha Atma only, which is Chaitanya Swarupa. That's the topic we will be doing in this 19th Sarga toward the last few shlokas. Then in the last 20th Sarga, Sadachara Nirupanam Karte mein, Bhagavan concludes saying, Sadachara Nirupanam I have done to you. Now the Jnana Nirupanam I will do. Vasishtha. Thus, she starts opening up the Jnana Khandam from the Tritiya Utpatti Prakaranam. So we'll go through it's a first round for us. Maybe few rounds we do. Then we become familiar with the way of teaching of Sri Vasishtha as well as the teachings. And they are not in any way different from any of the Shruti, Purana, Itihasa and other similar Smriti Grantha. All our Shastras have Ekavakyata of revealing the reality to us because that alone is the moksha hetu. Shastras have come only to give us the moksha. Depending on the gradation of the sadhaka, the Shastras. For the Uttamadhikari, direct Upanishads. The one who cannot catch it, then the next level, the Smriti Granthas, the Purana Grantha, the Itihasa, the Santa Vangmaya. All of that talk about one reality only. Now, when we expand our understanding through study of Shastra for long time regularly, all these things get revealed to us. What's a beautiful state of being wherein we know position of what is what. When we know whose position is what, the reality is position of the reality, the projected things position of projection, there is no confusion, mistake. Therefore, there is no hassles, there are no hassles to live as Brahman and to also play as a whatever the role to be played. Let us see how quickly we grasp this knowledge, internalize this knowledge, experience this knowledge. Start with Prarthana. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahanavavadu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Bhakti Yoga Dharma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsa Rishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah Om Yerime Gurubihi Purvam Padavakya Pramanatah व्याख्याताः सर्वसच्चास्त्राः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ॐ श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनामवरानने ॐ तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे ॐ विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहम् ॐ तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्रीगुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नताः स्मः पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरभिकलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मभक्ति योग धर्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः श्री वशिष्ठ विश्वामित्र वाल्मीकि वेदव्यासादि ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषत् योगवासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन कैवल्य मोक्ष प्राप्त्यर्थं श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणे इतिहास संतवाङ्मयोक्त साध्य साधनानुभव सिद्ध्यर्थं तत्रोक्त ऋषिमुनिगुरुदेवता दर्शनानुग्रहानुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां शास्त्राणां मोक्षमार्गाणां गुरुशिष्य भक्त भगवत परंपरादीनां पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शांति पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् सनातन धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्ध अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि समस्त मंदिराणाम् आश्रमाणां पुण्यदिव्य क्षेत्राणां विश्वविद्यालयादीनां भूभागादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापना उपासना यज्ञयाग साधना सेवादीनां द्वारा तपस्यादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रूणां शाश्वतरूपेण समूल निर्मूलनार्थं भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृतेः सुसंप्रतिष्ठा अवाप्त्यर्थं विश्वे मोक्षधर्म पुरुषार्थ प्रतिष्ठा द्वारा विश्व संरक्षणाभिवृद्ध्यर्थं अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सर्वेषां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्म भगवद्देवता गुरुशास्त्र सत्संग साधना सेवा माता पितृ देशधर्म सनातन धर्म भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थमनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री योगवासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं तदनन्तरं धन्याष्टक प्रकरण ग्रंथस्य अध्ययनं साधना तदनन्तरं संक्षिप्त स्कंदपुराण पारायण द्वारा भक्ति तदनन्तरं प्रस्थानत्रय पारायणे ऐतरेयोपनिषदः आरम्भः वयं सर्वे मोक्षार्थम् आदिशंकर भाष्य समेत पारायणं करिष्यामहे। आदौ श्रीरामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीयोगवासिष्ठ महारामायण सहस्रम मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ते स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। अज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शन दृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मादानन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। श्रीरामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। द्वितीय मुमुक्षु व्यवहार प्रकरणं प्रमाण निरूपणं नाम एकोनविंशतितमः सर्गः। श्री वशिष्ठ उवाच। मित्रों, we were seeing in this 19th sarga in the mantras, if you see 24th onwards, even though we have seen up to the mantra number 28, let us see from here. It says, Vicharavan vicharopi atmanam avagacchati yada tada nirullekam parameva vashishyate. See, when you search the self and reach the self, that self is supreme, self alone will be experienced, which is inexplicable. Vicharavan, vicharaha, if he does it, atmanam avagachyati. So if you do the atma vicharana, you get the atmanubhuti. Then yada tada nirullekam param, that atman is found to be supreme. Avashishyate, and that is one without second. Nirullekam, inexplicable. Or whatever the experience we are having of the world, the drishya, drashta, the source of them, the substratum of them, when vicharana is done, in that also we reach to that Chaitanya Swarupa, which can never be other than us and cannot be two. There also again, the Nirulleka Atma Paramatma Eva Avashishyati. Directly reach the self, self alone, other than that, nothing is there. Whatever we are seeing, inquire that, do vicharana, the substratum of that will be found to be the Shuddha Satchidatma, Ananda. Satchidananda, 2 words, Nirullekam. whatever the words that are employed in Shastras telling about the Paramatma, they are all indicative definitions. Holding on to those words and meanings, when we do contemplation meditation, we reach to the experience of it. And once one experiences, he finds no words to explain it. But under the compulsion of explanation, he uses the same words which were used by his own ancestors, the earlier gurus. Ye nastad vichachakshare, ye nastad vyachachakshare. Ye guravaha naha tat vyachachakshare. In that way only they speak. Right? Now, this is what? On contemplation, self is revealed. Now, what is that on the self? The whole projection is done. Remember, the consciousness not aware as itself, okay, by whatever the reason you call it, appears as the mana, antakarna. Now, once the antakarna comes into manifestation, projection, the entire drama is done by that only. Therefore, from here, these 2-3 shlokas are telling us that the avichara ke karana, utpanna mana ke karana, sara ye, samsar, how much ever realistic it is appearing, is projected. Hana, as we explained yesterday exhaustively, the primary world created is the Ishvara's mana, the Samashti mana. Then the secondary worlds created are the Vyashti Jiva mana created. Remember the example? The Lord created wood, we create the doors, etc. Lord created the mud, we create the pots. Lord created the cotton, we create the clothes. Lord created the rice, we create the cooked rice. Lord created means the Samashti mana of the Ishvara. Vyashti mana has created it. Isn't it? How beautiful? Now, here he says, Manasya nihite shante sabuddhindriya karmabihi nahi kaschit krutairartaha na krutairapi abhavanat. So, when mind becomes quieted, anihite shante, so buddhi indriya karmabi, along with jnanendriyas and karmendriyas, nahi kaschit krutairartaha na krutaihi abhavana. Actually, that state of quietening the mind and senses consciously is such a state of experience that there, it being infinite, whether the world is created, projected, or not projected, both of them stand same meaning. If it is projected, it's only projection, but without any value. Not projected, anyway, it is not there. So, nahi kashit krutairartaha na akrutaihi. Why? Because in the effort of quietening the mind, the value giver to the projected world, called as vasanas, get exhausted. When the vasanas are not there, the world projected, the world rejected has no meaning. But manas is the one which does it. Manasi anihite shante, again. Na pravartanta evate karmendriyani karmadau asancharita yantravatu. Again, when the mind is quieted, it is backed by the mind that the indriyas were working and presenting the Paramatma to us in the form of their respective objects. When the mana is shanta, the indriyas do not function, then the Paramatma is not reported or projected as the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Ursagandha. है ना? Mind is quiet and indriyas are non-functional. Paramatma is experienced as, or the whole Jagat is experienced as our own Atma. There is no projection. Any example, like the man, he is man only. When the wife sees her, she sees the husband in him, isn't it? When the son sees, he sees the father in him. When the father sees, he sees the son in him. When the friend sees, he sees a friend. When enemy sees, he sees an enemy. Man remaining same. Each one, depending on their own mind's projection, they imagine in that person. And a person who is unknown to him comes, sees him, he sees him only as man. Who are you? Is a man, yeah, is there. He's a man, that's it. That is the identity. After that only the projections. Like the Indian or non-Indian, Hindu or non-Hindu, black or white, tall or short, they're all later on. पहले तो man. Unbiased है इसलिए he recognizes man. Then the biasness comes, then all descriptions of him we project. Okay, he's engineer or doctor, whatever. In the same way, Jagat is Paramatma is projected as Jagata, Shabda Sparshadi, because of the Indriyas, as the emotions by the mind, as the concepts by the intellect. When the Antakarana and Indriyas are Shanta, the world is experienced as Satchidananda. That Satchidananda cannot be other than me. Therefore, the world is nothing other than me, or there is nothing other than me, called as a world separate. It's a world seen, but Anubhuti is that it is me. Like you see the mirror, you see the reflection, but the Anubhuti is it is me. When you see the mirror, you don't say some useless fellow you are seeing, even though it's a fact. You say it is me. In the same way. मीन्स ज्ञान अवतरण होने के बाद इंद्रियास present the way they can present. Don't insist. Only when jnana was not there, gained through vicharana, the indriyas and mind were dominant, making the man or the seer to see the world as world. When the jnanam has come through vichara, indriyas, mind present the world as they were presenting earlier. But because the jnanam is done, he is not carried away by the indriyas and manas projection of the world. With the jnanam, he knows that it is self. And like this person ने झूठ नहीं बोला. You know honest. But the other person, third person, second person tells, अरे यार इसने झूठ बोला. You know it, no? When you know he झूठ नहीं बोला, will you be carried away by the other person's opinion? No. So too, when you have inquired and known the self as it is, vicharana say, same self for the sake of play through the upadhis presented as this or that. But you may play in that, but you don't believe in that. You don't trust in that. Because you have the direct apprehension that it is the self. That's what is said here. Right? Manasi anihite shante na pravartante evate karmendriyani karmadau apasancharayantrivat. The example of the machine बंद किया तो कोई भी चीज उसका काम नहीं करता. The machine is the mind. And what is the mind from? मनोयन्त्रस्य चलने कारणं वेदनं विदुः प्रणाली दारुमेशस्य रज्जुरन्तर्गता यथा. So, the Paramatma, we attend to, Chaitanyatma. In it, its own imagined sense of otherness works as Vasana. From that Vasana, the Mana Janana, and Mana with its subsequent gratification appears as the Indriyas. Indriyas only project the world of Shraddha, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. So, see the hierarchy, how clearly said. Yourself, sense of otherness in it is Vasana. From that comes the mind. From it come the Indriyas. From the Indriyas, the whole world is projected. This gross world, you will not be able to understand it in this way very easily. But go to the dream and see. Analyze the dream. Dream world is there? Yeah. Dream Indriyas are there to see the dream world? Yeah. But the world and the Indriyas, both of them, are they separate from the Mana? No, no. Mana only, no? Both the Indriyas and the Jagat. Even the drashta in the swapna. Mana means antakarana. Charo aa jate hain usme. But is that mana which is seen as the drashta, drushya as well as the indriyas in the mana, in the swapna, is that mana other than the vasanas? Vasanas is mana, mana is drashta, darshana, drushya. Drashta, indriyas and drushya. So, like in the dream, if I see a tree, tree is also mind. The eyes with which I see the tree, or the hand with which I touch the tree, or let us say on fruit of the tree I ate with the tongue. Those indriyas also manana. Then I who is experiencing the trees, fruit's taste, or its touch, or its looks. That is I, that also mind only. And where are all these three? The vasanas only, isn't it? And what is vasana? It's a sense of otherness in what? In the pure consciousness. It's only sense. It is not reality. Isn't it? That sense of otherness is not there, but the self also is not apprehended as it is. Therefore, in Nidra, even dream also is not. The outer world and the upadhis, little grassified, is Jagrata Avastha. That's it. Other than that, to Jagrata and Sapna, there is no difference. And both of them are. Mana is Vasana, Vasana is self only, objectified or dualized. Sense of otherness created. That's why when the sense of otherness totally goes away, vasanas disappear, then no mind, no world. Self alone is experienced. These are all revealed to us when we study these deep shastras and contemplate on them. So, mano yantrasya chalane karanam vedanam viduhu. For the mind in yantra, for its chalana, thereafter to appear as indriyas and project the world, karanam vedanam. Here vedanam is both. The pure consciousness, in it the sense of otherness called as vasana. Right? Rupaloka manaskara padartha vyakulam jagatu vidyate vedanasyantaha vatantah spandanam yatha. This is one of the very important thoughts of Vedanta. Remember it, listen it. Rupa means the world of Shabda Sparshadi. Aloka, the world of Indriyas. Manaskara, the world of Antakarana. In that, the Aham also, who is the seer of the world through Indriyas and Manabuddhi Chitta. All of this. Then the Padartha, the outer objects. Vyakulam Jagat, the world which is made up of all these things. So the world of Padartha, Manaskara, Aloka, Rupa. All this world vidyate exists where Vedanasya antaha, within the consciousness. Vedanasya antaha, vata antaha spandanam yatta. Like in the wind, inherently there is a movement in it. The same thing when we studied our Taittiriya Upanishad, you know, we were told in the Mandukya Upanishad, in the Anata Shanti Prakarana, the whole world is in the Paramatman in an unmanifest form. At that unmanifest form, only Paramatma is there. Okay? Then, through Paramatma's Sankalpa only, when it gets manifested, we see it as the world. Then, the manifestation of the world or out of Paramatma is not like the manifestation of a son out of the mother or a child out of the mother. That now the child is separate, mother is separate. Aha. It is like the manifestation of the wave out of water. And when the wave comes out, it's not separated from the water, isn't it? It can't exist. But the child exists when he is born out of mother separate. So the child was unmanifest, got manifested. But that difference is there. But in the manifestation of the world from Paramatma, at the manifestation time also, Paramatma is there as the self of the world. Therefore, what is manifestation? The unmanifest Rupa Nama, that's it. That itself is called Paramatma's Ananta Shakti. Because in the Ananta Rupa Nama, the manifestation is happening. The world is manifested in the Ananta Rupa Nama. Therefore, Shakti is Ananta. At the time of dissolution, where it goes into its own unmanifest stage. At that time, Paramatma alone remains. It's a very pure, subtle Vedanta. Now, I'll tell you two few examples which are mind blowing. You may or may not understand them. Like a mathematician is there, double PhD has done, even he has done the highest new mathematics only discovered. Now, that mathematics ability or a physics ability, in which has expressed out of that highly leveled qualified scientist, how come it has manifested? You remember it only because it was in unmanifest form in his self, in the consciousness. नहीं तो manifest नहीं होगा. It was there unmanifest form in the conscious self, got manifested. So the difference between that highly evolved scientist and a nomad who doesn't even have proper, what do you call, the tables also of mathematics. 4 6 are 24, 4 7 are 28. ये भी नहीं बता. The difference between these two is what? Potentially they are same. The self is common in them. Within the self, all the not only mathematics, every science of the world is unmanifest form. In this person, it has not got manifested. In that person, it got manifested. That's the only difference. It's a question of manifesting and manifesting only. Otherwise, potentially, all knowledges are there in the consciousness. The consciousness is you and me. Therefore, all knowledges are potentially there in you and I. Example of knowledges. Same way, the whole universe is in an unmanifest form in the Paramatma Tattva, and that gets manifested. And what is universe? Nothing but mere Rupa and Nama. Rupa bhi nahi hai. Rupa is Paramatma Tattva only name given. That's why Vacha Arambadam Ikaraha. And that also Kevalam Namadhyayam. And what is reality? Mrittika iti eva satyam. The modification is in your own mouth. And that mouth modification is mere name. And what actually is there is only the example there is mud. So mud alone was there, mud alone is there, mud alone will be there. That mud you gave a name called as pot. That giving name in your mouth is the vikara of the mud. Other than mud, there is nothing called as pot at any period of history. Before the pot's made, during the pot's stay, and the breakage of the pot, there was nothing called as pot other than your own mouth speaking it as pot, giving a name. Otherwise, it's a mud only. In the same way, the naming is called as the world. Otherwise, the world was Paramatma. Right now, world is Paramatma. Later on, also, the world is nothing but Paramatma. Non-recognizing Paramatma as he is, non-acceptance of his own inherent power, and not recognizing that he alone is in all this form without changing himself, that we imagine the world to be other than Paramatma. Otherwise, Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. Sarvam hi etad Brahma. Very subtle knowledge. Now, Sarvatmavedanam Shuddham Yatha Udeti Tadatmakam Bhati Prasruta Dikkala Bhakyanta Rupadehakam. So Sarvatma is Paramatma. Okay. Vedanam is the consciousness. In the consciousness, sense of otherness. That sense of otherness is the samskara, vasana. That Sarvatma Vedanam, which is in its undifferentiated form, Shuddham, Yatha Udet, when it gets manifested, that time, that alone Bhati, expresses as, appears as, Prasruta, well spread, Dik Kala, Dik the directions, that is space, Kala the time, and then in that Kala and Desha, Bahya Antaha, outside means extrovertedness, Bahirmukata, then the Rupa, all the forms, Deha, all the Shariras. So all the Dehas, all the Rupas, all the sense of outwardness, all the Desha and Kala which is containing these things, all of that is from that Vasana only projected. On what? Shuddha Paramatma Tattva. Again I am saying Sarvatma Vedanam Shuddham Yata Udeti Tadatmakam Bhati Prasruta Dikkala Pahyanta Rupa Dehakam. It's a very beautiful, sublime knowledge. 100 times you have to study, contemplate to grasp it. So that in another word, in other language, in other text is called as the spandana in the consciousness by its own choice. Creates the sense of otherness, becomes extroverted, projects first the kala, then in that the desha is projected. In the desha kala, the entire rupa and nama are projected. Only projected, not created. All kalpana only. Like my inhaling, exhaling. Exhaling happening through the mouth. Then the tongue is twisted or moving. Out of the tongue twisted or moving, the wind which is blowing out is appearing in the form of the various shabda of various languages. Isn't it? Same thing when you play the flute, that sound comes. Play the harmonium, that sound comes. Play the guitar, sitar, तबला, ये सब क्या है? अलग अलग शब्द ही. No difference between those shabdas and what speech we talk. All of that is wind only, modified. In my mouth, the outgoing wind is modified by the specific instrument given by the Lord called as the tongue, because of which mutually understandable languages are coming. Same is happening between the birds. You may not understand their language, but they have their language. Same is happening between the animals. We don't understand them, but they understand each other. Who knows? Two trees are talking, two branches are talking, two leaves are talking. When we talk, you may understand. Because we are Jada, we are able to talk. Every can talk. That's how in all our Puranic stories you see the Mainaka Parvata spoke, Samudra Devata spoke, Chandrama spoke. For us they are Jada, but they are not Jada. In them also the individuality is there. So anyway, The main thought here is Sarva Atma means Ishvara. Vedana means is Samashti consciousness. Shuddham, when it is pure and only Spandana is there in it, Samashti Vasana expresses out of it. And that when it grossifies outside, Prasruta Dika, Prasruta Kala, Prasruta Bhahyanta, Prasruta Rupa, Prasruta Deha. The entire Desha Kala and Desha Kala Samvedita Jagat, they are projected. Okay, from the consciousness only. So, all this study, what is happening here? From the conscious self, the world has come. World has nothing but consciousness as substrate. This is the knowledge gained through vicharana. When this knowledge is strong, becomes convinced, which we just now started, but when it becomes convincing in the highest level of contemplation, then for us, the whole world which is seen and the indriyas which are seeing it, and the aham, individuality or antakarana, which is seeing the world, all of them are the Paramatma only. This knowledge is called as Pratyaksha. After this knowledge comes, whatever you see, you call it as Atman only. Because it is Atman only. So there is no more any Shastra required, nothing. Pratyaksha Rupena, you are doing the Anubhava, that Sarvam Ahameva. That's the meaning of Aham Brahma Asmi. Brahma means everything. Aham means me, I am everything. No, Drushtva Drishyata Sarupam Dharayan Stitaha Swam Yatha Yatra Yadrupam Pratibhati Tathaiva Tat. So, Drishtva Eva Drishyata Abhasam Sarupam. Dekho, beautiful. It has come to us in the Aitareya Upanishad and also in Chandogya Brihadaranyaka. He wanted to see the Rupas. The eyes have got manifested, the Rupas got manifested. He wanted to listen to the sounds. The ear got manifested, the sounds got manifested. That want is called as his Ichha Shakti. It is his Shakti. So it is Bhagavan Shakti that he alone manifesting as the Drishya Jagat. And he alone is playing the play of Drashta. There was Drishya and Drashta are at no period of time other than the Atman. So it is what? Društva eva drushyata abhasam sarupam dharayan stita. By his own sankalpa, Paramatma only himself appearing as drushya. And in that also, sam yatha yatra yadrupam pratibhati tataiva tat. In that sankalpa of him, whichever the rupa he wanted to form, he formed. In that formed rupa, one is human beings. They are given the freedom. So they do their secondary sankalpas. They are also obliged. Like you take your son to your one shop. So you buy him what you want. But oh देखकर बेटे को लगता है पप्पा ये भी चाहिए, which was not in your mind to buy. But you love your son, देखो ले लो बेटा. Because it is your son, you give him swatantra to ask. So too, we are all, jivas are all the son, santana of the Paramatma. He gives freedom to them. Then with that freedom, they do their own sankalpa. Paramatma says, okay. That's how in this world, the Paramatma sankalpita srishti is there. In that, the Jiva sankalpita srishti also is there. That's what we said. Paramatma sankalpita srishti is, let us say, minerals. Then with that minerals, whatever we are creating now, it is Jiva sankalpita, but permitted by Paramatma. है ना? Like with the wood, if you are making table and all, Paramatma did not make the table or chair out of wood. He only made the wood. But Paramatma, Santana or expression, we are all Jivatma. We are given a freedom. तो बच्चा को लगता है ना पापा वो कर रहे तो मैं क्यों नहीं करूं so पापा कार चला रहे हैं स्कूटर चला रहे हैं he is cries out of that cry came the children चलाने वाला car and scooter आ गए कि नहीं पहले बच्चों को चलाने के लिए कार स्कूटर नहीं किया है वो बड़ों के लिए किया है पर बड़ों को देखकर बच्चे को लगा मैं बेकार क्यों हूं? जो पापा कार चला रहे हैं तो मैं भी बेकार नहीं रहूंगा विद कार। तो उसको दुकान में जाकर उसको बैठ कर चलाने वाला कार दिलाते। बट विदाउट परमिशन ऑफ परमात्मा दैट कार functioning will not happen. In the same way, in the Srishti, the Samashti Ishvara's Sankalpa is there as his Leela, and our Sankalpa is there as our Srishti. And as per beautiful Vedantic Jnanam, in the Ishvara Sankalpa Srishti, there is no samsara. On that, when Jiva does his Sankalpa, there is samsara. Therefore, shift to your Srishti, drop your Srishti, start living in Ishvara Srishti, you are no more in samsara. But still, you are not in moksha also. मोक्ष के लिए even ईश्वर सृष्टि you have to transcend, even Ishvara you have to transcend, even the drashta jiva you have to transcend, you have to realize the substratum behind the jiva jagat Ishvara. That is the moksha. Bhokta bhogyam preritaram, है ना, त्रिविधम सर्वम प्रोक्तम ब्रह्मम एतत्, सर्वम प्रोक्तम त्रिविधम ब्रह्मम एतत्. See, the morning Shweta Shutara we studied, therefore we are able to understand the beautiful knowledge that's given by Sri Vasishtha ji here. Then the next one same. Sasarvatma yatha yatra samulla samupagataha tishtatyachu tatha tatra tadrupaiva rajate. So now it is his will and choice. Wherever, in the whatever form he wants to express with his sankalpa, he manifests. And when he does vikalpa, it goes away. वो कहेंगे पहाड़ मैनिफेस्ट हो जाए, himself manifests as पहाड़. पहाड़ disappear हो जाए, disappear. In the पहाड़, the tree हो जाए, tree. In the tree, the ocean हो जाए, हो. We have seen all of that in the first 6-7 chapters of मेरे ख्याल में either this one or even the first Vairagya Prakaranam only. How the whole Srishti, how everything gets manifested and gets changed into also by Paramatma Sankalpa. Yatha, because the power of that Sankalpa, everything is Sankalpa only. Sankalpa is nothing but a Shakti. That is Paramatma's Shakti. It is his Shakti is Ananta. Therefore, his Sankalpa Shakti is Ananta. So anything it does Sankalpa, it happens. That's why he just does the Sankalpa. Some 10 billion solar systems be projected. 10 billion, they just come. Out of them, 4 billions dissolved, they get dissolved. No, when you talk in this language, how big is that Shakti of Paramatma? And that's what you are seeing. What scientists are discovering is what already our rishis have told, that it is the Ananta Shakti of the Paramatma manifesting in the Rupa Namatmaka Jagat. And that's why the Rupa starts from the fire. Anything you expose to the fire, that gets burnt and it loses its Rupa Nama, means the manifested Rupa Nama goes back into its cause called as fire element. Therefore, the Rupa Nama of that thing is gone. When it is no Rupa Nama, it cannot, no Rupa, it cannot be seen. Like a paper is there. You burn that paper. What is the meaning of burning the paper? If the Rupa has been taken back by the Agni which has given it. Because the Rupa is taken back by the Agni, that paper is no more there, burnt. It has gone into the unmanifest form. Arupa Rupa. Agni Tattva में एक हो गया वो. Same thing morning we saw in our Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Like in the firewood, there is Agni unmanifest. Sa bhuya eva indana yoni gruhyaha. Sa bhuya eva indana yoni gruhyaha. Tadvo bhayam vai pranavena dehe. And the 4 examples. तिलेषु तैलं दधनीव सर्भिः आपस्रोतस्सु अरणीषु च अग्निः. In the same way, Atmana Grahyate Asau. Satyena Tapasa. Tomorrow we are going to study that. See, the relate karo wo text, ye text, Knowledge thoda thoda dheere dheere add hota hai. It's only information. This has to be confirmed into knowledge by our contemplation. This life of our souls is only to gather information, it looks like. Agale janam we do manana chintana and may become thorough in the jnanam of all these things. In the next life, we may do the nididhyasanam, we may experience it. So, experience both. I am Brahman, unmanifest, nirguna nirakara. I am the Brahman, manifest, the entire Jiva Jagat Ishwar. Both I am only. Transcendental I am, immanent I am. When immanent, I have not lost my transcendental form. That's what is power of me, where I appear as the world, yet do not become as the world. Anytime I can disappear from being world into the pure self. I can speak and I can stop speaking. That is my freedom. It is my power, inseparable power of mine under my command. So I talk, isn't it? I can stop talking. And with my more practice, I can talk every 10,000 languages that are there in this universe. Because every talk coming from the Chaitanya Paramatma. Every animal's language I can talk. Every bird's language I can talk. Because the animal and bird is talking from their consciousness. That consciousness is me. If that consciousness can express as the language there, it can express here also. Because consciousness is there. है ना? अब 500 रुपए नोट में 500 रुपए है तो इंडिया में कहीं भी जाओ उसका 500 का कीमत है ना, लाइक दैट. सो स सर्वात्मा यथा यत्र समुल्लसमुपागतः तिष्ठति आशु तथा तत्र तद रूप है इव राजते. अपना उल्लास से वो संकल्प करे तो जो रूप चाहिए वो रूप धारण करता है. दैट इज द पावर ऑफ consciousness. Then sarvatmakataya, because of all the above discussion, sarvatmakataya drashtuhu drishyatvam yujyate. So here drishyatvam and drashtutvam both are one sarvatma only. Sarvatmakataya drashtuhu drishyatvam iva yujyate. Drishyatvam drashtu sadbhave drishyatapi namastavi. Isn't it? Everything is playing the play of drashta, conscious atma alone playing the play of drashta and drishya. Drishya cannot be without drashta. Drashta cannot be without being the Chaitanya inside. Therefore, in its reality, is the drishya is there? No. When the drishya is not there, can you attribute drashtutva to the drashta? No. Then if drashya is not there, drashta is not there, what is there? Shuddha druk swarupa. Like in our Mandukya Visa, when from the pot, the karya, we reach to the mud, the karana. Then when we look again from the mud karana standpoint, the pot, there is nothing other than mud only, isn't it? Then where is the pot? Karya gone. When the karyatva of the pot is gone, then how do you call the mud as the karana? Only when there is a karya. With respect to that, you call it as effect, cause, karana. कार्य नहीं है तो इसको कारण का दर्जा भी नहीं रहेगा, पोजिशन भी. Then what remains? कार्य कारण रहता, pure mud or same thing is the pure Atman or Brahman. So therefore, pratyaksha rupena, what you are seeing is the Atman, the Brahman only. Simple. The whole drishya jagat cannot be without me, the drashta. The drashta cannot be without the druk swarupa Atma. Druk swarupa Atma, when you see, drashta, drishya jagat are not there. Druk Sarva Atma, when you don't see, then the Drashta, Drashya and Drashta are projected. When you are in the waking, the dream is dissolved. When you are oblivion to the waking, the dream is projected. So who is reality there? The waker is reality, in the ignorance of which the dream is projected. Therefore, the Druk Sarupa Pratyaksha Chaitanya Atma is a reality on which Drashta, Drushya is projected. When Drukswarupa Atma is not seen. When Drukswarupa Atma is seen, with that basis, again play the play of Drushya and Drashta. Will we say them they are other than me? No. They were what I am seeing, the world, and the instruments with which I am seeing, and I call myself as seer of the world. All of them is nothing but the Drukswarupa Pratyaksha Chaitanya only. Therefore, Pratyaksha Rupena, what Anubhava we are having on the highest contemplation level is nothing but the Atma only. Therefore, Pratyaksha Pramana is enough to know the Atman. This through this vichara. That's what he says. Sarvatmakataya drashtu drushyatvam iva yujyate. Drashtu drushyatvam iva yujyate. Atma alone. Drashta and drushyatvam drashtu sadbhave. So then when the drashta is there, then only drashta is there. Therefore, drushyatavi namastavi. The drushyata also depending on drashta. Is a drashta is vastavi? No. When the drashta is not, there is also not drashta. Then what is there? Drukswarupa Chaitanya Atma. That is why akaranakam eva ataha. Akaranakam eva. The karya karana rahita Atman alone therefore remains. So Brahma siddham idam stitam. That karya karana rahita vastu is the Brahma vastu only. And that through this inquiry is known and experienced. It's called as Pratyakshameva Nirmatru. Therefore, the Pratyaksha Atma only. Tasyam Tasya Amshaha tu Anumadaya. Therefore, through this Pratyaksha Pramana only, Atman is experienced. Then, through this Pratyaksha Vicharana, Atman is experienced only for those knowledges which are not possible to the Pratyaksha, that you use the other Brahmanas. Anumana ityadi. So, tasya amshaha tu anumanadayah. So, anumana, shabda, arthapatti, upalabdhi, upamana, pramanas are when through pratyaksha pramana not gained. So, through pratyaksha pramana, through vichara, when we experience the self, the other pramanas are not required. So, in this way, in this sarga, the pramana vicharana mein, through the vicharana, the pratyaksha rupena what you are experiencing is always your own Atman that is being tried to be proved, which when with a scientific, very subtle intellect contemplate for many, many months or years, it will come to our apprehension. So too, in the meditational seat, we experience. There is nothing other than me. So it's a very mind-blowing knowledge. Very mind-blowing, which we have not even that in this detailed, not touched in the Upanishads also. In Brahma Sutras, when you go, it will be like this. And when the Paribhashas and the great texts written by the other Acharyas, these all you see. In the Vedanta Paribhashas, in the Advaita Siddhis, in the Chitsukis, in the Siddhanta Lesha Sangrahas, in these books, you will see all these which are. Mm. Bhashyakara, in Bhashya, wherever occasion came, he gave all this. In all other occasions, whatever the text was, he was commenting, he was sincerely following it. But in his independent, so many Prakarana Granthas, he has mentioned it. One of his book, Prapancha Sara, Sarva सिद्धांत सारा संग्रह उनमें ये सारे ये बातें आ जाते हैं आदिशंकर so Adishankar ji 6th century Vasishtha ji thought they are from the beginning of creation so they have all that sublime jnana casually mentioned, which we are struggling to understand. Hmm. Final thought is akaranakam eva ataha brahma siddham idam sthitam. By this, karya karana rahita Shuddha Brahman alone is proved. Everything to be. Therefore, Pratyaksha Rupena, what you are doing Anubhava through all Indriyas is nothing but Brahman only. Therefore, through Pratyaksha Pramana only, Brahman Nirupana done. In case Pratyaksha Pramana does not work, other Pramanas are taken for help. Through Pratyaksha, the work is done. No need of other Pramana. Okay, now, this knowledge you yourself having gained from me and gurus like me and the Shastras by your own self effort and contemplation, realize your own self within you. That's the highest occupation and achievement. Other than that, you become a Jiva, you make the Ishvara out of Parabrahma, you become Upasaka, you make him Upasya. This Veda will never give you Brahma Jnana. It may give you the Uttama Lokas. They won't give you moksha. Therefore, up to certain level, take the Paramatma Ishvara for various helps. Keep on taking also his help when required at the Upadhi level. But your goal should be through the Vicharana to discover that Brahman who is substratum for all the three, you, the Jagat and the Ishvara. He says it. Swayatna Matre, by your own prayatna. Yat Upasakaha, you are Upasaka. Yatat Daiva Shabdartham, and that same Paramatma you take as Daiva. Apahasya Dure, दोनों को दूर रखो. Means transcend from the upasaka upasya level of sadhana to shurena, with your shurata of contemplation. Hey sadho, Ram ji ko sadhu कह रहे. Padam uttamam tat, that uttama pada of sarvam pratyaksh rupena brahma eva, and that brahman ahamas. That padam uttamam tat swapaurusheне eva hi labhyate antaha, is obtained by one's own purushartha, by everybody. You do so. Like that, every guru also, having taught entire Vedanta, he says, keep me, the Guru, Ishvara, in the heart for your gratitude. But submerge deeply into vicharana and contemplation to discover the self substratum of all the three, you, me, and the Ishvara. Guru Aisa finally Upadesh did. And at the Vyavahara, you continue your prema, bhakti to both of us. But Anubhuti is the Brahman. That only gives moksha. That's why no guru, no devata worth naming binds the disciple or bhakt. They say, you just merge with us at that level. Because in that only redemption to you and us also. Because if you are bound to me as disciple, you will bind me also as guru. Just like you are not the disciple but you are Brahman, I am also not guru but I am also Brahman. है ना? उपदेशाद अयम वादः जाते द्वैतम ज्ञाते द्वैतम न विद्यते मांडूक्य उपनिषद. ज्ञाते, even guru shishya, द्वैतम also न विद्यते in the anubhava. But in the vyavahara, for the vyavaharika shishtachara dharma, we thank the guru, we pay tribute to his contribution or kindness, etc. So that the next generation of disciples who are yet to start their journey, they are not misguided, they are correctly guided. Right, friends? Now, the last mantra of this sarga, same. Vicharaya cha acharya paramparanam matena satyena sitena tavatu yavad vishuddham swayameva buddhya hi anantarupam paramabhyupaishi. So, vicharaya cha. Therefore, vicharana you have to do. Acharya paramparanam matena. By the guidance of the mati means guidance of the आचार्य परंपरा. देखो गुरु परंपरा से हमें पढ़ना है. लकीली हम परंपरा से पढ़ रहे. So आचार्य परंपराणा मतेन विचारय सत्येन. सत्य means shastras. Sitena means with purified heart. So with purified heart, the basis of shastra and the acharya parampara's teaching, do vicharana. Till what? Till yavat vishuddham, that pure immaculate self, swayameva buddhya, with your own intellectual apprehension, you understand, then transcend the understanding or convert that understanding or translate that understanding into the experience of what? Ananta Rupam Param Abhyupaish. Till that Ananta Parama Atma Brahma Rupa Anubhava comes to you, be in meditation. Before that, in the Buddhi, feel this knowledge based on the teachings of the Acharyas and teachings of the Shastra. And all of that you do by yourself. Nobody can help you. Nobody can involve in your spiritual journey. Somebody can help in the Vyavahara. But आध्यात्मिकता में और कौन क्या कर सकते हैं आपको? आचार्य गुरु give help. That you have to take that help. है ना? They don't do sadhana for us. They don't do vicharana for us. अगर गुरु के विचारणा से हम मुझे ज्ञान मिल जाता है तो गुरु को डबल ट्रिपल दक्षिणा दे देते हैं तो ही कैन डू विचारणा एंड गिव अस मोक्ष. लेकिन ये नहीं होता है ना. लाइक यू टेक द हॉर्स टू द वाटर्स बट यू कांट मेक द हॉर्स ड्रिंक वाटर. दैट हॉर्स हैज टू ड्रिंक. If you don't like the example horse, take a gada. How does it matter? You take the donkey to the water. You can't make the donkey drink water. It has to drink. So the gurus take us to the Vedanta Jnana, the Shastra Jnana. We have to drink it. Then naturally, when we are thirsty, we drink. They try to create the thirst also by telling us the truth, not manipulation. That in the absence of the knowledge of self only, you are as a samsari suffering. And in the absence of the knowledge only, of the self only, you took the world to be real. When you realize the self, there's nothing called as you and the world other than that reality. That reality is Purna, Ananda Swarup. What problem to us is, we do not want to give up our Dehadi, Upadi, Tadatmya. And this Dehadi, which are Apurna and Santa, finite and endful, we want them to be infinite and endless. This is impossible. Therefore, we are afraid and we are miserable, we are suffering. जो पूर्ण है आत्मा उसको पकड़ो. जो पूर्णता चाहिए तुमको उसमें मिल रहा है ना. नहीं नहीं मेरे को शरीर में पूर्णता है. अरे वो हो ही नहीं सकता. तुम इतना भी पूर्ण पोली खाओ. द बॉडी कैन नॉट बी पूर्ण. इट कैन लिटिल बल्ज. इट कैन नॉट बिकम इन्फिनिट. इट कैन नॉट बी शाश्वत. उसमें वो गुंजाइश नहीं है. अब काहे को कोशिश कर रहे हो जब पॉसिबल नहीं है. सी दैट ईगो सी दैट बायसनेस. जो चीज आप चाहते हो वो जहां और जगह पे अवेलेबल है वहां जाओ ना. नहीं मुझे वो नहीं चाहिए. मुझे इसमें चाहिए. इसमें वो नहीं मिलता. फिक्स्ड रेट है. In the body identity, you will have disease only, you will have old age only, you will die. Because the body has made in that way. It is required. Otherwise, if the body doesn't die, your great grandfather onwards now, everybody would be available. Their property would have not come to you. And you would have had no place to stay. Imagine सारे हाथी जितने भी थे नहीं मरे मानो. सारे शेर नहीं मरे. इमेजिन करो सारे खटमल मच्छर नहीं मरे. क्योंकि फिर से मनुष्य मैं नहीं मरूं तो उसको भी नहीं मरना चाहिए ना. देन वेयर इज द प्लेस फॉर द न्यू जनरेशन टू स्टे टू कम. इजंट इट. मरकर एक जगह खाली करना पड़ता है. यू आर ए हिंदू नॉट अ फेलो हु ऑक्यूपाई द लैंड इवन आफ्टर डेथ. stupid. हम मरते ही जला डालते हैं so that the other fellow can take the place. The other fellows, even after death, they occupy. That's how they make whole world graveyard only. You see in Japan and all, 10-storied graveyards. इन इस्लामिक कंट्रीज जितने जिंदा है उनसे 10 गुना ज्यादा वो मुर्दों के वो सब है. Funny people, the body came from mud, चला गया बस. See, they justify their own vow. We cannot argue or fight. You know, we also have samadhi, but of the Mahatmas for sadhana, you cannot make any terrorist died. उसका भी समाधि क्या याद करोगे उसको? You understood? Anyway, the idea is, as a Sharira we die only, as an Atman we will not die. Choice is there to identify the self or the body. We are all body identified. अब उसको खींच खींच के बाहर निकाल के शरीर को ऑब्जेक्ट बना दो, तुम सब्जेक्ट बन जाओ, you are realized. In you the subjects and Shariras millions come and go, you take tamasha. What is the feeling of the water from its own standpoint? I am the eternal water in me. So many waves are coming and going and गुदगुदी कर रहे मेरे को मुझे खुशी हो रही है. The waves arrival where departure, nothing, it doesn't touch the water. So I am the self. Millions of shariras coming and going. That possibility is there to dissociate from one set of upadhis and associate with the substratum of all upadhis. That's called Vedanta. Hmm. In this way, it is Sri वासिष्ठ महारामायणे वाल्मीकि मुमुक्षु यवहार प्रकरणे प्रमाण निरूपणम नाम एकोनविंश सर्गः. Congratulations. Just one more sarga is there. Tomorrow, 3 days it will take. Yeah, 2 days, 15 shloka है उसमें. With this, मुमुक्षु व्यवहार प्रकरण is over. Now starts. Once you have become viragi and become mumukshu, now you have to be given the upadesha. So upadesha starts from उत्पत्ति प्रकरण. Wonderful. Let us see. मैं भी आपके साथ ही पढ़ रहा हूँ. ओम भूर्भुवस्सुः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं. ओम न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकं नेमा तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं नारायणाय दास. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यो ब्रह्म. बोल श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण की जय. बोलो भाई वशिष्ठ विश्वामित्र वाल्मीकि वेद व्यास आदि ब्रह्म विद्याचार्य सब संतान की सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की आज की आनंद की जय. Thank you for concluding the 19th Sarga. Last one tomorrow will start. Join in 3 minutes, 5 minutes for Danyashtakam, one shloka.